Hello YouTube, welcome to my day 2 of Monk Progress Guide. If you haven't yet, I highly suggest that you watch my previous video. That one covered pretty much leveling of 1 to 14, like what I was doing. This one will cover the entirety of like Act 2 when it comes to just like how you should gear and stuff like that. So think of it around like level 30. I'm level 35 as a matter of this recording, but as I said, like you can be higher level if you're struggling, if you're trying to find the gear. So yeah, let's get into it. This video will be a bit shorter. I will first show the footage from my stream earlier just to see the general idea how the playthrough is. I can show you right now like live as well, but since I'm over leveled, so I've seen like a lot of people in comment were asking about like the skills setup and everything. So if you watch the previous video, that setup was totally fine. Like not many things has changed since then. So I will show you like what we are currently running as of this moment. So our main skill has changed. So we are not using Glacial Cascade, is still there. We are still using it pretty much the same if you freeze an enemy, like especially for boss. Honestly, I really use this one for bossing. So when they're frozen, just to proc that big hit at the end, because it does hit quite a bit. So what we got running right now is Ice Strike. That is like a main ability. So this is like melee skill that is building up a combo for our Bell. Bell is mega strong. Like the key feature of this build is the Bell. Like for bosses, this thing will melt. Absolutely. So we have Ice Strike, which is linked with Martial Tempo, which is like 25% attack speed, along with the third skill in Crescendo, so the final strike. This one repeats twice, which is, by the way, like our strongest attack, as well as you can see here. Third strike, it has like a large range, but its attack damage is like much larger than the original strike, which is only like... It doesn't really have a scale, okay, attack damage of 124, but yeah, this one very, very strong. So this is gonna be like what you're gonna be using majority of the fight. We are still using the Frozen Locust. This one won't change. I might change it later once we get like Freezing Palm. I forgot what is the name of this skill. There is like one we can get like later. So it's still the same thing, you want to break it. As you're leveling this skill, as you're leveling it, it gets like more HP, so it's getting harder to like break it. There is like a node in a skill tree, which I'm gonna go over later. So while we are still using this one, you want to like try to lower as much Ice Crystal duration. Doesn't really matter, because you want the Ice Crystal HP to be like less. So Frozen Locust, more freeze build up. This is our main freeze ability still, so we want that one to do it as much as possible. I still have the Ice Bite here. As I said, you can use either Ice Bite, because like this one is going to be proccing like all the time. You can use either that one, or you can just switch to Deep Freeze, so freeze lasts longer, so you have like larger air, like a better CC, and it's going to be easier for you to use like a Glacial one as like an execute command. So that one is up to you. Let's get back to the other skills. So for the other skills, we have a Glacial Cascade, which is with concentrated effect. This one is very strong, because we don't really need area of effect. We just wanted that big hit on the boss. You will have to aim this one, like as you can see, like the range is not large, but it's since bosses are like very big, it's not really that hard to hit. We have that one, and we have a Cold Infusion on this one. Honestly, like this one is just like here right now. I'll have like better options later if we are still gonna use. I said I'm not a big fan of this skill, because it forces me to like move backwards, like, and not keep attacking the boss. I only use it because of the execute command for freezing enemies. Later on I'll find like something better. Killing Palm, this one is you're pretty much using only for execute. I added some regen on it, so whenever you call an enemy, you get like 12% life per second. That's pretty much like standard. I added like lightning damage on this, but since I'm not really like honestly, I'm not really using all that much. Bit more now, since I did get charge stuff. I'll get into it later when you're gonna be building your power charges, but for this part of the video, you don't need to worry about it, because you won't have this skill. This skill I just acquired, so I need to play around with it and like see how I'm gonna deal with the power charges and everything. Tempest Bell. Now this is... this bell is great, man. I need to like show it to Let's see if we can. Okay, let's get some enemies so I can just build some stacks. I don't want to use anything else.
Frost.
So the bell itself is absolutely insane. As you can see, just dropping it once, it's pretty much guaranteed to like destroy everything. As you can see, the range of this thing is very big. So the way I did it, my bell has a cooldown now, but I increased this is pretty much the largest area we can get so far, because both of these skills give more area of effect. So this one gives 50%, but it gives the skill a 6-second cooldown, which is totally fine, because technically you won't be really spamming it. And since we already have magnified effect, I want to like move magnified effect to something else as we move on, but for now like I'm gonna keep it on a bell, because I like my bell to be very large. And you can see once you drop that, once you drop this one, and when you start combining like the freeze effects, it's super strong. Like those two things, so this plus bell on a boss is gonna do tons of damage, and if you're playing with anybody, it's gonna be doing absolutely even more, because like faster you break it, obviously it's better. Then the cooldown might be an issue, but we can later add like another stack of the bell as well. So let's move on. Freezing mark, I'm not really using this skill like all that much, mainly because I just like forget, and it's like too many. I don't like to press too many keys. 3 keys is fine, everything above that is like very situational. So I would like to automate this one, maybe cast on freeze. I will see later on. So you can have it here as an option. It gives like a nice debuff on the enemy, and it makes them explode for even more damage. So can never hurt having more explosions. Okay, can never hurt to have more explosions. Our reservation spirit. So Herald of Ice, obviously this one is, I'm not sure if I like mentioned this one in the previous video. This is like the primary one we're gonna be running like all the time. So we can't really add anything to it, since I do have 65 spirit because of my gear right now, but otherwise if you do have like extra spirit, you can put something like vitality, clarity inside of there. You can put accuracy, maybe precision, so you have options like for 10 spirits, something like that. My next big one, this one also costs 30. I haven't really played around, there is like more options, but since it fits the theme of Arctic Armor, protects you basically, like whenever they hit you, they get hit back with even more cold damage, which also helps like a lot with the freeze. It does like decent damage as well. All in all, pretty good. I have deep freeze on it, mainly because I literally don't have anywhere else to put it, so it's just there. Charge stuff is the one thing we're gonna get later on. Perpetual charge, so it doesn't consume charges, and super skills gain extra lightning damage. I need to like work around the entire charge stuff mechanic, because now that we got it, I need to like work on generating charges. We're probably gonna get to that one, and there's a skill, I forgot the name, where you can like evade, then you get like power charges and stuff like that. We're probably gonna incorporate that one into the build. But as I said, like this part doesn't matter. Herald of Ice, primary with Tempest Bell, Killing Palm, Frozen Locust, Glacial Cascade, and Ice Strike. That is the only skills you actually need. Everything else is just you can play around. As I said, like you can put like a Curse and Feeble or something. If you want like a Frost Bomb is also fine. I don't need it, like damage wise and stuff like that, like we don't really need it, because we're already doing like a lot of setup, right? We drop that one, then we need to make sure that we destroy it, that we are like close to the boss, then we drop the bell as well. We need to keep up the stacks for the bell, and you're always like actively attacking with your main attack. The only difference with playing now, before you played very defensively because you just play like this, you can still play like with Glacial Cascade as your like damager if you are having trouble like staying alive until you get better gear. But honestly, like with my current setup, I do get hit a lot, but I rarely ever like die. Mainly because like everything is just kind of frozen all the time. As long as I have ready the bell, pretty much everything's gonna freeze. And yeah, if you're having issues with that, you can just remove the cooldown, then you will probably be able to spam a bell like a lot more. Or add like another bell. There is one of, forgot the name of the gem, you can add like, you have like 2 bells, it's gonna last a bit less hits, but it doesn't really matter because everything dies in 2 hits with bell anyway, except the bosses. So that concludes it for the skill options. Let's go to the gear. So gearing wise, I just want to like showcase like this thing is absolutely insane. I could have put 20 physical damage gem. I did get the rune on it, because like remember, a lot of these skills are not 100% cold converted, they are converted from physical, right? So more physical damage does mean like more cold damage, but I wanted to add like a Trinity basically to have all 3 sorts of elemental damage. This stuff is insane though. Like this one increased my damage by probably like 40%. I got this one from a vendor. Always check a vendor. Always check the vendor. Each level they reset, so make sure to check the vendor. Not the gamble. Like you can try to gamble it, but this was the normal vendor one. So And I can still add, once I get one more Exalt, I can still add one more. It can get like 40% like weapon elemental skill or plus more to melee skills. Both would be absolutely huge. So this staff will last me for a while. Let's move on. So gloves are still the same. I didn't really bother like looking for new ones. They're fine. They have like some life, they have all 2 melee skills. You can get like life per hit on this, which would be nice, or maybe there's like mana per hit. I'm not really sure about the affixes and stuff like that, but overall, as I said, energy shield. We are still doing the same though. You can go hybrid, you can go full evasion, you can go like hybrid or just like flat on energy shield. Right now I'm just kind of mix of everything. As you can see, I have armor here, mainly because like this one has a spirit on it. It had like 35 spirit. I just rolled it and kind of went with it. Don't really need armor, as I said. We are gonna mainly focus on evasion and also, considering that I'll show you later, since I am an Invoker now, I'll probably go a bit defensive in the tree there. One good thing about skills, especially like when it comes to like ascendancies, you can reroll them now, like respec them. In Path of Exile 1 it was a very tedious process. In this one you respec it just like you respec your skill tree, so that is very, very good. But yeah, moving on to the belt. Also, it had a decent armor, but it had a huge life roll and a 14 strength. I need to upgrade this one, but this one is super solid just because of the flat HP alone. As I said, HP is king. Like you can't have enough. I have 748 now. You can't have enough, man. Just you want it on every single piece of your gear. Boots, pretty solid, nothing special. I need to start working on my resistances though. My resistances are like not that good, so resists very, very important. Okay, so for the rings, cold damage to attacks is also like mega huge. Like if you can grab this one, it's totally fine. As I said, like mine are not really, because the rings in this game are very difficult to come by. Same goes with the amulet. Amulet is with life. You can always go with like a main stat if you go. This one will like roll solidly as well. As I said, like these are the items that kind of just fine, don't really gamble or do anything because they're very expensive to gamble for. And that is pretty much it for that. Oh yeah, and the helmet. Helmet is also like pretty good because it has like a high energy shield roll for now. Has a life, has some defense and 12 intelligence. And life per second is overall good to have as well, like as a secondary kind of a stat. So if you can roll it, it's like a good thing to have. And that's pretty much it. Flasks, pretty standard. Gain charges per second. If you get this one, hold on. This is probably like the best thing you can get on your flasks, especially the HP one. If you having like if the boss doesn't really like damage you too hard, so you can like delay the fight. If you have like +2 charges per second, that is probably like you will never die on a boss, right? You can just like delay it. But we do quite a bit of damage, right? This build doesn't really lag the damage, so you won't have issues with that. And that is pretty much it for the gear. Alright, so here, as I said as Evoker, you can always like try out some different combinations. For me, I was thinking maybe going a shocking run, because like everything I do is freeze, right? So I need like more shock stuff and gain 10% of the damage as extra lightning damage would be like even easier to shock. But then I was like, you know what? Let's just go for more cold. Let me just freeze more. So I went with magnitude for chill and extra cold, and we'll try the unbound avatar. If I don't like it or if I don't feel like it's worth going for that one, I might start switching and maybe go instantly for like the full-on defense like this one. But I feel like this one is gonna be like a huge one for the end game. Once you get you should like lean heavily into your evasion on gear. One cool thing about like evasion or like it doesn't matter if you go like energy shield, there is like all these nodes that converts basically like your evasion into energy shield. There was like one here as well, if I can find it quickly now. Yeah, this one. So 1 maximum energy shield per 12 evasion rating on equipped like body armor. There is like all sorts of this kind of cool nodes. I find this one very interesting. Might play around with them and see like which one I'm gonna take. So the skill tree itself hasn't really changed since the last time we played. So we're still using the same things. As like these power charges, like you get like maximum power charges, 5% chance to get them once you gain power charges. This one is huge now that we have a charge staff. Like charge staff is like a very powerful buff we can get now. This one was very good. Like I was initially thinking like, should I take this one this early? Very good, like blinding strike. Your attacks to do a blind, you're gonna be blinding all the time. Definitely like worth taking as we are moving on. So as you can see here, I grabbed like to get like more cold pen, get some lightning resistance that it penetrates more magnitude on chill and shock, and even more chill and shock durations. Then we have like a magnitude of chill and shock. Magnitude very good. As I said, like I'm heavily leaning, as you will see, like throughout the tree, we are heavily leaning into the magnitude stuff. Right here we have, I just grabbed like another node, increased chance to inflict ailments on rare or unique enemies. I'm not really exactly sure like how big this one is, but we get like more attack damage, and it didn't really take all that more. We continue here, as like this was the main thing. So primary thing, I wanted to grab the build up here for the freeze. Freeze build-up is very good because we are using quarterstaff and stuff like that. We do get like even more freeze build-up up there, but here we have like a huge node for attack speed with and criticals can knock back. We're gonna start like closing once I'm done with like some of the major nodes. The tree might start change a bit once we lean into the crit, because I really haven't picked anything crit related yet. Once we reach like level 70, I would say 60, 70, then I'm gonna start like converting slowly to crit. Right now it's basically all chill magnitude, more chill, more cold, and defenses in general, right? This node is very huge because like 25 dexterity. The higher staffs, the quarter staffs, have like a huge dexterity. Like for example, the one I had has a huge dexterity of like 51 requirement. And considering like as you can see, like my stats kind of have like, I invested a lot into intelligence because most of the gems are blue, and we have to keep in mind that if we add like any sort of a spell, they have a huge like intelligence requirement once they'll reach like 7, 8, 9 on a skill ranks. So that's primarily the reason for that. But yeah, a very huge node. Here you can, I'm probably gonna go with the crit hit chance. Consume power charge counts as additional power charge. So this is gonna be just easier way to keep the charge stuff pretty much going all the time, right? Our key thing is to get that charge stuff happening always, because we're gonna have projectiles going from the staff itself along with whatever we are doing, and obviously like more shock, so we get like more elements which is gonna help with Unbound Avatar, which we're gonna get later. So yeah, this is currently the state of our skill tree. As I said, where I'm gonna go from here, I'm just kind of slowly winging it. It might change because like I have like few options. As I said, we can go here, lean heavily into the damage with Echoing Frost and just Echoing Thunder. Like these two alone are gonna give us enough. And remember, like as long as you have ignited an enemy recently, which is in like last 4 seconds, this is very easy. Considering like as long as you have like source of fire damage, source of any elemental damage, right? You will be doing these elements slowly. Like you don't need to do like a full element for this to proc. So all of this is this entire tree is like super good for Monk. That is it for the skill tree right now. As I said, these early nodes are also like very good. I will be updating as I progress, so look forward for the new videos. And if you have any comments, questions, you can drop them down below, or you can drop on my streams. I will be streaming today as well, so thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And thank you very much recently for subscribing to the channel. It does help a lot, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Salute and bye!